What do most people get wrong when it comes to networking?
They care too much. You know, the moment that you put so much importance on the outcome, things don't work out.
Run me through what that looks like. So if I'm like caring too much, what am I thinking? What am I feeling?
You're thinking, what am I going to say? Is this person going to reject me? I wonder, like, how do I ask for the number? Or how do I keep in touch with them after I introduce myself? All of these little thoughts that run through your brain are the things that stop you moving forward. Most people think that rejection is a real thing, and rejection is not a real thing. Rejection is only a real thing in your mind. So the moment that you think about rejection, you're actually rejecting yourself before you actually get rejected.
Okay, let's unpack that. So rejection is something we kind of make up in our own mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist in reality.
It's not real. Everything that we see in our lives is a belief, and you either chosen to subscribe to it or you choose to unsubscribe to it. I don't choose to subscribe to depression, or I don't choose to subscribe, for example, to rejection, because rejection is simply, the way that I look at it is, if you go up to somebody and quote unquote they reject you, they're immediately disqualifying themselves from your life, which is a great thing. Why would you want to hang out with people that don't like you?
They've like filtered it for you on your behalf.
Yeah. But as humans, we place such a big importance on this thing called rejection. Why? It's not real.
Well, I've learned a lot through a lot of psychologists that I've interviewed. The primal reason is, so we have this primal need to belong. Back in the day when we were tribes and communities, if you didn't belong to a society and you were outcast, you would effectively not survive because you need the power of community.
Yes.
When we translate that to modern society, that need is not necessarily as prevalent as what it was back in the day. I mean, I do think there's a role and a value for belonging and connection with people, but to the extent where it means our survival or not is probably not that fine line anymore.
Yeah.
So we're talking to someone, they're not really interested, they don't give us a number, they're not reciprocating. Instead of saying this is rejection, we're saying they've just disqualified themselves from our life.
That's right.
That's the reframe.
That's the reframe. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
You're driving on the highway. There's a Prius on the left on the fast lane, and then there's a Ferrari. What's more impressive?
A Ferrari.
Why?
Subconsciously, I mean, it's probably going faster and it looks a little more impressive.
Yeah, it's built different, right? But does the Ferrari ever, think, oh, I am a Ferrari? No, it's just a Ferrari. So the problem with most people, and the reason why they attach such a big importance to rejection, is also because they don't know who the fuck they are. So they're scared of being judged. They're scared of being seen. I don't care because I know my value as a man. I know the value that I can bring to a stranger. And if they don't want to have me around, cool, no problem. I'll keep driving on the fast lane. That's the way that I look at it.
I'm glad you kind of drilled down to this point, because a massive foundation of this show is the way you think and feel about yourself. And my biggest curiosity in this life is understanding, how do I get to know myself better? Because the more you get curious and you realize that life is a journey of you getting to know yourself, right? I don't think we ever get there. No. I think we can know who we are, but that is also an evolving thing, because things happen in life. You might move overseas, you might start a family. Like, these things are going to string you along the journey of you.
Absolutely.
But understanding that is just, for every conversation I have, whether it's about being confident in the workplace, whether it's about applying for a job, whether it's about dealing with a relationship, whether it's about networking, it always comes back to knowing fundamentally who you are.
And that is something extremely difficult to do unless you don't know your values.